Hello and welcome to Ears for Eragon, and Eragon, I'm gonna kill myself. I am gonna kill myself on mic. This is what happens when we don't record for like 6 weeks. I forget the intro.
It hasn't been that long.
How long is it?
No!
My things? You've toppled my things.
Oh, Michael dropped his phone.
How did you know?
We heard it.
Come in here.
It dropped like a key cup or something.
Because it sounded like
It sounded
phone.
like a phone.
I've dropped my phone many times.
I walked in and immediately dropped my phone.
Oh, Michael, the calendar's here. Go take a look at it.
Oh, yes.
Okay, what's the fucking podcast called again?
E is for
Ears
dragon.
for Dragon.
Ears for Dragon.
Hello
I got
and
tra-
welcome to Ears with Dragon.
Dragon.
Ears what? Dragon.
And then still have that I'm gonna kill myself.
You don't get to know what the fuck up was, but you do get to know that there was one.
Hello and welcome to Ears for Dragon, an Eragon reread podcast. I'm your host Charlie,
I'm Nick.
I'm Shan.
and I think Shan's on summary
I
today.
am on summary. I love, Nick, that you raise your hand as if you're taking...
I just gotta...
as if we're taking roll.
I don't know.
It's very... It
feels right.
Good.
It
It
feels
makes
like...
me want to do it, and then I'm like, there's no point.
Everyone, if you're listening, it's like we're in the room with you. Or the other way around.
Yeah, raise
you
your
know?
hand.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
The podcast, I guess.
We're right behind you. Don't look.
Don't fucking turn around.
What chapters have we got today, Sean?
Okay, this episode we've got the chapters Trail of Oil, Worshippers of Helgrind. Are we saying Helgrind or Helgrind?
I say it Helgrind.
Yeah,
I say
was
Hellgrind
just-
because the Hellgrind never stops.
With your lifestyle, yeah, bud.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
I'll say it as I wish. I think I normally say Helgrind, but just reading it off the page there, I was like, Helgrind.
Yeah.
And we've also got the Razak's Revenge.
It's not in the pronunciation guide, so...
He
just
thinks
kinda
you can
go for
figure
it.
that one out yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, we cannot.
Sorry, we failed you, man.
We have figured it out. 2 alternate options. Okay, so plot summary. Starting with Trail of Oil. After their long night in the tavern the night before, Brom and Eragon are both quite hungover, and Eragon is treated to the arcane knowledge of the hair of the dog. After this, they set out to ask around about any workmen who might know where the Scyther oil has come into the city from, where it's been stored, where it's moved around. They spend their morning doing that and don't have any luck, and then decide to split up for the afternoon.
We do style.
Yeah. Before splitting up, we get told that the ruler of the city is very, comically evil. He's so evil. Keep this in mind, he's really evil. And he gets to do what he wants. And he wants bad things. So after they split up, Eragon spends his afternoon asking around. He seems kind of listless about it, but eventually he finds someone who tells him what warehouse it had gone through, and he goes and looks at the outside of the warehouse and then goes and waits for Brom. Brom gets back looking quite windswept and tells Eragon that next week the king is visiting. So they want to be done with this city within the week. They don't want to be within, I guess there's 20 leagues of the king, which is, I don't know how far a league is, but that seems like quite a long way.
Seems pretty far.
Yeah. Brom then says that he also discovered this, the warehouse that Eragon did, but he discovered it even better and found out where it went to from there and where it went to from there.
Yeah.
Suck it, little kid. So the oil goes from that warehouse to the palace, and then from the palace it goes with a pair of slaves and a month's worth of provisions to the base of Helgrind. The slaves are never seen again, and the only time that someone followed them, one of the servants followed them to find out what happened, they never returned. So, of course, they plan the best way to investigate this is to replace those slaves with themselves.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's that bad of an idea.
They say it's a bad idea.
They say it's a bad idea.
And then decide to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Eragon suggests to tell Saphira all of this, and then he says, oh, maybe after this we could go visit Carvahall. And she's quite angry at the thought because he's not committing to any sides of the conflict, and she wants to be committed to the Varden.
Mm-hmm.
And worshippers of Helgrand, Eragon wakes up with a note from Brom saying, enjoy your day in the city, heart heart. Keep a low profile, keep your bow strung. While exploring, he sees a slave auction and is aghast and deeply disturbed by it. He almost uses magic to free a slave, but gains control over his emotions and realizes that would not help anyone. But seeing this does strengthen his resolve to join the Varden, as he had said to Saphira the night before. He visits the cathedral, and we get a little bit of description of what the cathedral looks like. But after bowing his head for some time, he turns around and is ambushed by the Razak and a group of soldiers. He manages to run through a lot of corridors and doors in the cathedral and then jump over, grab the top of a wall and climb over. He then is running for a very long time throughout the city, loses them in the market, and contacts Saphira to tell Brom that they need to get out of Dodge. Saphira is very clearly from her tone quite displeased with the situation, but she does this. He meets Brom back at the tavern, and they saddle up their horses and make a mad dash out of the city. When they reach the gates are beginning to drop already, and they have to use magic to get through a row of pikemen that are guarding it and to halt the gates so that they can get out. Once they are out, they meet up with Saphira. Eragon rides on her for a while, but then the winds become too strong and she has to land and walk along with them. As it becomes dark, they leave the road and set up a camp. Brom says that this is going to be the most dangerous time for them in their escape because the Razak prefer to hunt at night and are very good at hunting. They decide they'll take turns on watch, and Eragon immediately sees a little flash of colour and is hit in the back of the head and falls unconscious. In the Razak's revenge, he wakes up. He's bound. Brom is also bound. The fact that Brom is bound, Eragon's very pleased to see, because that means that they haven't just straight up killed this old man instant. They have been drugged so that they can't cast any forms of magic, and Saphira has been chained and muzzled under threat of Eragon's death. The Razak find some kind of significance looking at the sigil on Zarok, and after a brief discussion they decide to kill Brom and tell the king that he died while being captured just because they want to kill this old man. Just as they're about to slit his throat, one of them is hit by an arrow. Another volley of arrows comes forth and they dodge them, and then arrows come from a different direction and start hitting them again. The Razak decide to flee, but not before kicking Eragon very, very hard and throwing a knife at him. A strange light burns in Brom's eyes, and he leaps in front of Eragon and takes the knife. Eragon screams no, hears some footsteps approaching, and passes out. And that's our chapters.
Yay!
Alright.
These guys love passing out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to talk because I fall asleep a lot when I don't want to, but it's not like this. This is a bit extreme.
Yeah, but you're not like screaming and crying and passing out. You're just going to sleep.
Yeah, or like in my mind I'm like clawing, trying to escape the sleep realm. But it's from the outside it's not very dramatic, it's just falling asleep.
It's pretty peaceful. Alright, I have first and foremost big question. Turn the light on. How the hell is that inn getting ice?
Sorry, 1 second. When was that? About 13...
Not 1320.
They could have a cold cellar.
can you freeze stuff in a cold cellar?
You freeze it in a really big cold cellar and then move it to your individual ones, and it lasts a while.
Okay.
How long has there been refrigeration technology? Surely, like
They do
very
not
long.
have it.
These
Hole in
guys
the
don't have
ground
it.
is kind of refrigeration
Yeah.
technology. But honestly, not very long, man.
Like
Oh,
mechanical refrigeration, not very
like
old.
70 years.
what? I
I
figured
don't-
like the Romans had it or some shit.
No, dog.
No, like with refrigerants, no,
Yeah?
no.
Wow.
Refrigerants are largely compressed gases,
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
you need to be able to, like,
Well, to compress them.
well, you need to be able to compress them, but you need to also be able to isolate them.
Yeah, yeah.
So you need to isolate the gas you want and compress it, and then have a compressed system.
No, we're not doing that shit in ancient
Yeah.
Rome.
Yeah.
Modern Rome, maybe.
Fun fact: a little bit of my current work is to do with refrigerants.
Ooh.
Anyway, they're definitely not doing it in Dressleona.
No.
No, but they could have a cold cellar, and there could be bigger cold cellars elsewhere in or outside of the city.
Not a plot hole.
I'm not saying it's a pothole, I'm just wondering how they're getting their ice.
Yeah.
He's drinking a lot of iced water.
It kind of
pretty
seems
valid.
like a shithole, though. So I am
Yeah.
a bit surprised they have it. But
Yeah,
it's
he's
not,
hiding his
it's
coins
not
under
that
the
they
mattress.
couldn't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very thinking emoji about the whole thing.
I gotta try this, what's it? Hot tea, ice water, and
Brandy.
and brandy. Mm-hmm. So I've been getting more hangovers recently.
That's because we're getting old.
No.
I don't think
Hate
that
to
would help
confront
you.
it. I don't think it would help.
It might make it worse, though, and that could be
I
fun
think
to try.
I think honestly, if I was feeling hungover and I had to drink hot drink, cold drink, and then more alcohol, that like, would you not just throw up?
I would scream and pass out,
Yeah.
just like Eric.
These days, if I'm feeling hungover, the only thing I can face is a fucking Zoppy clone. I'm just going back
God.
to sleep. I get so nauseous. It's not worth being awake for it.
I'm gonna get on those like rehydration like sachets. Yeah.
I actually don't. Knock on wood.
Not getting hangovers.
I still don't get particularly hungover ever.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, I have 2 beers and I'm not, and the alcohol doesn't affect me, and then I get a headache. It sucks.
You're on Andrew levels of
I
alcoholism.
know, it's so
it's
bad.
fucked up.
Embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little
Yeah.
But the
No, I don't get
good
that.
thing is, if I keep drinking past that, I'm okay until
Oh, yeah.
the next day.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you get it instantly.
Yes.
You're hungover before you're hungover.
I'm
Yeah.
hungover
Hangover?
before I'm drunk.
That's cruel.
It's despicable.
That's
That's
unusual.
fucked up. No, I'm talking real hangovers, not whatever that is.
Not the medical problem you seem to have.
What are we talking about?
Are we talking 2 beers or 4 shandies, though? Maybe it's like the carbonation.
The combination's usually good for it.
I don't know. No, shandies keep me well. I was gonna have one, but I didn't want the ice clinking around. No, Eragon should be sicker than this. Actually, he's 16. He should be springing up out of
he's
bed,
indestructible.
totally fine.
Yeah, he is 16. It's his first time drinking, but there's no spirits, so he's fine.
He's
Yeah.
probably had like 2 beers.
You think Garrow let him have a beer?
No, I mean that night.
Okay.
And yes, I think Garrow let him.
Yeah,
not
the
Garrow. I think Horse.
I
maybe
don't think
snuck him a
Garrow
beer.
let him have a beer.
I don't think
And
Garrow
I
let
don't
him
think
have
that
water.
Brom was opening his pockets very far.
No.
So maybe the fact that Eragon has a hangover at all is a little cringe.
Bro, you suck.
Oh, Saphira gets to be smug about it too.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
It's like when the sober friend comes up in the morning and pokes you with a stick.
Has that happened to you? That man's not your friend, Nicholas.
No.
I don't know how much text there is between Eragon's hangover and them talking about Galbatorix, but
Like a page.
like a page. The amount of heavy lifting that probably is doing in there is hilarious. Like, oh, he'd probably kill me. Like, yeah, dude, he'd absolutely obliterate you in a second.
Well, to be fair, he said he'd probably rip me apart.
To shreds, you say.
To shreds.
So, like that, I feel like the probably kind of, he'll definitely kill me. He'll probably probably rip me to shreds.
To shreds, you say.
He's been thinking about it. He's been theorizing. Game theory on how the king's gonna murder me.
At least he says he could, not he would.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so before that, they formulate the plan to go look for the Sather oil.
Yeah.
They got here with zero plan and then started making some bad plans.
You want to know something that I really have a question about?
I'd love to.
Okay, sorry, I've got a couple things actually. Before I can get to the one that is my main point, I feel like I should go chronological.
Yeah.
So Brom knows a lot about Marcus Tabor, ruler of this city, and things that are going on in in various towns they've been through. And you think, yeah, this is wise old man trope. Of course he knows this. He hasn't left Carver Hall in 15 years, and he hasn't received information from the rebellion in 15 years. How does he know anything?
He's getting like a little bit from the traders, I guess. Like he's giving them stories and he's getting stories, but I don't feel like they're giving them as in-depth information as he's giving out.
No, he's got... I mean, obviously, he just knows it and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, as a Doyleist explanation. Watsonian, he's making some shit up.
He could be, like, scrying. I know he's not, but he could be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's scrying.
No. This man doesn't have the foresight to be thinking about other towns.
I think he's just like saying information that he knew 15 years ago.
Yeah, old shit, and then hoping it's still true. I mean, I guess... What if he was saying this and there was a new ruler?
Yeah, what if he was just straight up wrong?
Like, he's been
I
in
would
town...
love that.
He's been in town for, like, less than a day.
Okay, well, we can cut it.
Yeah.
My thought is
I couldn't read that.
it's a 9/11 joke too much. It's like...
I thought you were admonishing us. I thought it said y'all.
No, I would never be mean to you. But it's like him showing Eragon around and being like, I'm going to show you the coolest buildings, like around New York, and be like, I'm going to show you the coolest buildings ever, guy. And then it's like, because you haven't been here in 20 years.
Or received word.
Oh, yeah, and you don't know anything.
But yeah, like, it's just like, you've been here less than a day. You haven't been, like, talking to very many people. There could be a new ruler.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know. But he's very confidently, like, looking up at this castle, like, yeah, fucking Marcus Tabor lives up there and he's a scumbag.
Yeah, I mean, like...
He answers only to the king and his own conscience, which hasn't been very active recently.
It's like he does
It was
know.
the recently is what got me. Not like...
Wait, maybe Jode knows. Maybe Jode knows
Maybe
something.
Jode knows,
Jode
and maybe he's been
knows.
shit-talking with people at the bar, but that's not anything we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about that. My next question. Just a really minor one. They want to go find some workmen who have moved this oil. They do not start at the dock where it came in from.
Yeah, this is still a harbour town, right?
Yeah,
It's on a
they-
Yeah,
lake.
it's just on a lake.
I love that they split the party immediately and go wherever the fuck.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
No
don't...
instructions for Eragon. What did you think was going to happen?
His
Yeah,
instructions
just
for
go.
Eragon are like, don't be weird.
Just bro, get lost.
Just walk around, haha.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm trusting you not to do anything stupid. That's his instructions.
Oh, I love the description of like the courtyards and the streets before the cathedral, just showing like the huge wealth divide.
Yeah, really.
In Grasleona.
Yeah, the description of the like... It's annoying that he doesn't have a title, the leader of the city, I guess.
Yeah.
His courtyard's really cool. The inlaid mother of pearl with the black stone
Yeah.
and stuff is really, really...
He's just the ruler.
Yeah, a lot of the imagery in these chapters is like, it's nice. I like... Dressleona needs to be obliterated off the map, but it is a cool looking city.
I like the idea of this like tiny inner circle where it's like beautiful, surrounded by like the desolate.
Yeah.
The dirt,
city,
like,
yeah.
Cool.
walls. It's really nice.
Yeah, so the point that I've had to work all my way towards, are these fucking workmen getting a material safety data sheet? Why do they know that they're transporting this hazardous oil? If it's in a box, are they not just moving a box?
You're completely right.
But they all know that they're moving not just a hazardous material, they know it's Sather oil.
Maybe...
So it seems that at least amongst
I got a shipping docket.
workmen and the shipping industry, it seems that there's some pretty alright workplace safety going on here.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, who's overseeing that first of all? But yeah, I mean, OSHA compliant, I guess. Just marking your boxes, make sure you don't spill horrible, caustic, evil oil on yourself.
They got big this way up signs.
This is the oil that specifically dissolves flesh, which you're made
Careful.
of.
Wait, maybe it's not doing that yet. Maybe they're putting the slaves in there.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
no,
true.
It
It's
needs a
regular.
sacrifice too.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
regular. It's
just
some kind
regular
of
jewelry
caustic
oil.
thing because it's used as it for
It, like,
jewelers.
It's
Yeah,
used
it's
to
like
like
cleaning, I
pearls
guess.
more lustrous, I think.
Yeah.
Is what they said.
Well, it said that, but
It
it
was
doesn't really make any
kinda-
fucking sense. So I ignored that and assumed they used it like jeweler's oil. But yeah, they're either getting like a pretty decent docket on what stuff they're transporting, or they're being nosy, and I appreciate that.
I think that's good.
Yeah, maybe the Empire's shipping manifests are just like really legit. They just have them down. But
Well, no, I'm not. We know their shipping manifests are legit because we've been in the room full of shipping manifests.
yeah,
I'm surprised the guys on the ground know all of this.
they'll be getting the manifest, right?
I don't know.
Does it
Yeah,
outline
but, like-
who they're talking to?
Just some guys.
Just some guys.
They're just some random guys in around the city they're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was quite interesting. I wondered what kind of documentation they had there.
I think they're looking in those boxes.
Yeah. They're trying to see if there's any jewelry in there.
Because I think that if you're a merchant and you're shipping some very, very, very expensive oil that could perhaps be quite easily siphoned or something, you wouldn't write on the box.
Hey guys,
Stealable
here's my
oil.
expensive oil for you to
Especially
steal.
in Dress Leona.
Yeah, I think these guys are opening every box and having a little peek.
Having a little sip.
Yeah, the dock workers in Dress Leona are like the people that steal Amazon packages.
Good. Kings. Wait, is that good?
I don't.
Away from... No, they've already paid for it. That's bad.
I think it's bad.
Well, anything that hurts Amazon's image is good to me. What I was going to talk about is Brom's little adventure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's such a cop-out that we don't get to see any... Like,
Yeah.
I get that kind of social, like, intrigue scene is kind of out of the grasp of our author at this moment
And
in
also,
time.
Eragon couldn't have been there
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
He's Eragon.
Well, Eragon like
You-
spends the whole day, and at the end of the day, he finds the thing, and then Brom like sneaks in immediately.
he finds it, he goes around, he gets some gossip, he comes back real tousled, so I think maybe he fucked someone.
Yeah. Brom had a lovely day.
He tells us a bunch of stories about mistresses. I think he got some. Eragon couldn't have been there.
Yeah, three
Eragon
mistresses,
couldn't.
and they all live in the same wing. Wink.
Ooh.
Like,
Yeah.
how did you know that? And did you see them?
Oh yeah?
I mean, what are their names?
What were they like?
Are they pretty? Yeah, I mean, like, that is why I'm so glad that there's going to be other point of view chapters in the future.
Yeah.
Because I like Eragon. He's my funny little guy. I'd love to see what else was going on. And yeah, Brom's little romp seems like it was really funny. And I want to see him interacting with people who aren't a 16-year-old he loves punching.
Well,
well.
too bad.
I'm afraid.
I'm sorry.
I think that,
All right, their terrible plan to
Oh,
be
sorry.
servants.
Before
Oh, no,
this,
you go.
while Brom is telling his little story, and he tells Eragon that he found out that the oil goes from the warehouse to the palace, and Eragon says, "And that's when you came back here," finished Eragon. "No, it's not. Don't interrupt." And I have underlined that and drawn a little frowny face.
I'm talking.
I'm not done.
And then like after talking about how he went into the palace and slept with the maids and whatever, he puffs on his pipe, and I imagine he blows a smoke ring directly into Eragon's
Yeah,
face.
bro, don't interrupt me. This is stupid nitpicky stuff, but that's what I love to do, so
Sure.
whatever. Tabor, or whatever his name is, has servants.
Old Marky.
Old Marky Mark. Of Marky Mark and the Rowdy Bunch, or whatever the fuck Mark Wahlberg's.
The Funky Bunch.
The Funky Bunch, thank
Funky
you so
Bunch.
much.
Well, all I know Marky Mark from was being fucking hot. I didn't know like anything else.
Mark Wahlberg?
When he was Marky Mark.
When he was Marky
Was he?
Mark.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was crazy.
I might have looked it up in a bit. But he has servants that he's presumably paying when the slave trade is like up and running and like booming in the city. I just it doesn't seem
Well, he's
reasonable.
got like well-paid servants so that they spy for him, or they don't
That's
like
true. But he's paying them and they're giving his fucking info away anyway.
Well, yeah. Maybe there's slaves and servants in there.
Marky Mark.
Man, what the hell?
Yeah,
That's not the same man.
I know.
That hits
What the
photoshopped
fuck?
onto that body,
Yeah,
man. There's
that's
no
why
way.
I have to specify Marky Mark is hot, not Mark Wolf.
No, yeah.
I don't know what happened in between.
I think the racism poisoning got to him.
No.
But yeah, I thought that was, I don't know, I like to pick up words and make fun of them. Like this. Eragon says that the writers demolished the slave trade. Did he mean abolished?
Well, I thought that, but then before I could really like wormhole in on that one, I thought, okay, so writers finished the slave trade. Whose slave trade was that? Was that the elven slave trade? Was it a dwarven slave trade? Did humans bring the slave trade with them and then it got abolished? Was there a slave trade before humans got here and it got abolished before humans got here and they just told stories about it?
Oh, right, because the writers are like the
The writers are what outdate humans on the landmass by a lot.
Yeah.
Huh.
Did the elves have slaves?
Like, did the elves have slaves and talked about abolishing it so much that humans know about it even now? Or was it like a thing where humans were pissy because they came over with all their slaves and it got abolished by these elves and dragons?
It's definitely a human thing.
Yeah,
to do.
like
When
that was what I thought of.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's good, but like,
I didn't even catch demolished.
how long did the humans just show up and then were immediately made riders, or were they just? I reckon they were fucking around for like the elves were like, oh, something's over there. I'm gonna wait 2 months, and it's been 500 years, or whatever. And they're like, oh, great googly moogly, they're doing slavery over here. Mm-hmm. You guys have to stop that.
Yeah.
And then like they couldn't because they'd been there for 500 years. But then when the riders were around,
But then when people have got dragons, you're a little bit more like, oh, I think I'm gonna do what you're telling me to do. Well, no, I guess we're not there yet. But put a pin in slavery, I guess. We'll come back to it. Well, that's what the humans. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
That's what the writers said.
Yeah, that's what the writers did. We'll just stop that for a second. Yeah, I guess them and their bad plan is kind of all that happens in the chapter, except Saphira's fun little moment.
knowing that the Razak are actually based in Helgrund is really funny.
They live in the nastiest hive of scum and villainy, like, ever written. He just was like,
They
how
live
can I make...
on the big evil
They
rock.
live on the malevolent rock towering over the most evil settlement known to mankind. He just sat down and was like, okay, I gotta make this really fucked
The one
up.
that
Okay,
stares at
then
you
where
and
do the
gives off
evil
bad
guys
vibes.
live?
Yeah.
It
They
is
live in Evilton.
They live in Evilton. I'm surprised the lake isn't like full of dead fish and like slimy.
Just for fun.
Well, the lake is lovely.
The lake is beautiful. So tragic.
I'm gonna say, narratively, I like that Galbatorix is gonna come and fuck up this town. Because it's like a real... I don't know, it's pressure in the pace, and it's a good point in the book to say, like, hey, everything else is still happening around
Yeah,
us.
remember he's out there.
We
Yeah.
are like pretty much exactly halfway through, like just over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was good for pacing. Because like this, you can when you're in a travel story like this, you can meander really badly.
Yeah.
I like that he hasn't left the capital in 10 years, but Marcus has been fucking it up so bad that he has to come.
What's he gonna come and do to that guy?
Replace him.
Well,
I won't tell you.
I'll never tell you
Handle
what
him.
Galbatorix did before. Yeah, I mean, like, you've got to be doing something seriously evil for the evil eternal Lich King to come and get you,
Yeah.
right? He's probably just not paying enough taxes.
Yeah, he's dodging his taxes.
Yeah, probably.
Not paying taxes on all his slaves.
Oh, yeah. Property tax.
No. Alright, let's move on to Worship of Helgrind.
No, let's not. I have something to
Well,
say.
the slavery's in there.
Well, I still have half a
We
page.
put a pin in it.
Go on, we'll come back to
You
it
got half a fucking page.
I'm going to talk about
left on this.
Saphira for a second.
then. Okay.
God.
My note on the Saphira discussion is, Saphira, you can't go home, you centrist fuck. Which sums up their conversation.
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah.
I just wish that we had more of Saphira's reasoning for like wanting to join the Varden, other than them being like the good guys. She doesn't like, apart from Eragon's revenge quest, she doesn't really have a personal stake in the story at all. And like, I know she's not really a character at the moment. She's kind of just zooming in and out as like a bike or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It would be cool to like for this discussion to be a little bit like to be a discussion and not her just going, pussy boy, you can't go home, like snapping at him, and then like,
I think later on dragons have like inherent moral sense of good.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know, we might have to review that one later.
Yeah, we'll come
Yeah.
back to
I
that.
don't remember that.
'Cause I think Shrukan has a really bad time the entire time.
Shrukan is very mentally unwell.
Yeah.
But that's because of all the things that happened to
There
him.
are other things that happen to him.
But yeah, like she what?
I can't help but notice that you're a Mishrukin tonight. I can't help but notice that Khan coming in.
Shrukan, huh? Interesting. That's very interesting.
Well, I read it as Shuriken the entire time, so...
Yeah, you're on your way.
Yeah.
I did the fancy reading a book trick of reading the first two letters, going, I know who that's talking about,
Yeah.
and then skipping the rest of the word. Saved me 0.2 seconds. I'm reading so quick. But yeah,
You're not reading that quick.
no, not anymore. When I was a kid, I was fucking churning through shit.
Oh, yeah.
But I've lost the skill. But yeah, I just like to know a little bit more about her internal politics,
No, that's good.
which we're not really going to get because she's a dragon.
Not
but-
for a while.
But that'd be cool. Notes for Worship of Halgren opens up with Skyrim meal count 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the second Skyrim meal of the novel. And I went through all of my notes to check that, which is why I was a little bit late today.
Wedge of cheese, loaf of bread.
Well, as we mentioned in a previous episode, this is pre-Skyrim, so Skyrim's doing Eragon meals.
Yeah. This is the OG Eragon meal.
My note, the only extra non-plot note I have thought worthy of taking for this is that it's insane to walk around the city with a strung bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, at all. Second of all, expecting that to do something.
You are, you're in a crowded street. It's a extremely difficult to use ranged weapon. You need to be like at least 10 meters away from someone for a bow to be effective.
Yeah, and it's like they're like, you're good with the bow, but he just mastered the sword.
Yeah, literally, he
and
became
can't,
master
and
of the
like
blade.
you know, he can't be a master of the blade carrying around Zarok because it's obvious. But you have money, so just buy a regular sword so that he can carry a regular sword around.
Yeah.
That's going to be easier than a bow.
Yeah.
And the bow also makes you like a bigger target as well.
Yeah, and people think you're a weirdo. Like, everybody's got a sword, but it's like...
Or like a knife or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
but
not
you're
that
walking around
weird,
with a
but you've
strong ranged weapon and a quiver full of arrows. People think you're going to do something
got,
crazy.
in town.
It's silly. It's very silly.
That's the only thing I. If you see, I've got half a page of notes for the previous chapter. That's everything I got for that chapter.
Wow.
Obviously, not my plot notes that I needed for the summary, but my person that blasted
personal
everything out of
grievances.
my mind.
Yeah, like, I get sticking to the bow protagonist trope or whatever.
He
It's
could just
very
be
fun.
walking around with his fucking pebble, and he'd be equally armed.
Exactly. Or, like, I feel like, get a quarterstaff, bro. Quarterstaff is perfect in city weapon.
Quarterstaff's
He's
just
not
so
an
cool.
old man. He can't carry
No.
a quarterstaff.
A strapping young lad can't have his beautiful walking stick. Okay.
He'd probably look out of place
He's
in
15.
Drasleona.
Yes. Is he still 15?
Yeah, cusp of
Did
being
he
a
have
man.
a birthday?
I don't know. There was no cake. I wasn't invited. I'd be so gutted if I wasn't invited to Eragon's birthday.
Oh, that would be so sad. I like that Brom wrote him a message just on the wall of their accommodation.
And then hid the coins under the mattress, like the person walking in to steal the coins
Wouldn't see
wouldn't see the note.
coins under the mattress. I think that was just to fuck with with him because Eragon thinks this inn is so fucking disgusting he doesn't want to touch anything or sleep on the mattress.
That's right.
Haha,
Don't
if
make
you
it
want to
touch the
eat, the coins
mattress.
are under the mattress.
Yeah, if you want to eat, get past my flea trap. I
Yeah.
see.
We're not getting out of here uninfested.
If I've got fleas, you've got fleas.
Alright, Eragon walks around for a while and then finds the slave markets.
Yeah, let's unpin slavery.
Unpin slavery.
Unpin slavery. Obviously, it sucks, and this is very upsetting.
I like the description of just like the, I don't know, not festivity, but like the presentation of it.
It's like it's so like normal and jovial, and like the crowd's like loving it. It's,
Yeah.
Like an auction, just like
It's just like a regular auction.
As
Yeah.
everything was weird about it, which is like horrid, but well done.
But yes, that's how slave auctions would have gone. What I would love to know is how Eragon didn't know that slavery
How
was
did he
legal.
not know that slavery exists?
I feel like
Because he thought the writers got rid
Yeah,
of it.
but like, if slavery exists and is so normalized that they're having slave auctions in the marketplace.
Well, Dress Leona is like exceptionally weird.
Yeah, but
Right.
like,
for this
Gal-
level of auction to be happening, there is a significant level of trade going on.
yeah. And Galvortrix has only been in power for like 100-ish years, which is the longest it could possibly have been going. So, like, how does Eragon not know that that exists at all?
Yeah, like when you have that level of
Carvajall's pretty far away.
Carvajall's very far away, but when you have that level of like free labor in a society, stuff starts ticking up very quickly, and like I feel like at the very least, someone in like some very rich person in Threshenford or whatever. Therinsford, thank you. Would have if this hadn't been. I don't think he thought of it when he was writing the early chapters. Like this is just I'm writing Carvajal, I'm writing Dracciona, but like some very rich, like the mayor of Therinsford or whatever.
They would take the
Likely,
idea and be like,
yeah.
hey, I can just not pay my workers.
Exactly, likely would have owned slaves because that's what the reality is in a society where slavery is legal. But like him just like being, huh? Guys, I thought this was you can't do that. That's illegal. Is like, how did this news not reach you, dog?
Yeah.
Like the traders wouldn't have been like, yeah, and so it's crazy. They've been doing a lot more slave trading in Dracciona recently, and like it would have come up. But yeah, this sucks. Fuck everybody. Blow Dracciona up.
Yeah.
It is a good way for Eragon to realise that he needs to start
Yes.
like playing a part.
Yes.
And thinking before he acts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That too.
I think like the actual section where he's at the slave auction is quite short, but I think it does a lot for him as a character, just like in a very short space of time. Like it.
Yeah, and it links it in with the Urgles and his impulsivity there, the negative impact that had.
Which is really good.
Which is a nice little bit of, like, the character development he's having over those two incidents.
Yeah, just like retrospective on like, oh, I can't just blow this shit up because it won't work.
Yeah, and it hasn't worked in the past, and this is a different circumstance, but it still won't work here, and I can't do that.
Yeah.
I think it's
Difficult to grasp at 15.
yeah, he's doing such a good job.
He's doing great.
It also like it ups the stakes in a way that like the motivation of "Girl, you killed my uncle" can't last forever and isn't a good thing to base your activism joining a rebellion.
Well, he's realising that
I guess.
activism is like a
he's
part.
becoming an activist.
King, but like it's not a good thing to base your action on. And then like seeing this like earlier in the chapter before this, he's talking with Brom about so they send the slaves and they don't come back, and he's really blasé about it. And I think he's just like never been confronted with the reality of like what the situation actually is. And then he sees it and it's fucking horrible and it's like disgusting and evil, and he's like, oh yeah, I have to stop this like immediately.
Yeah, it's like he hears like, I thought slavery didn't exist. Okay, and then it does exist. All right,
Doesn't
and then
really
it's like he
compute.
puts it in like a little box as if slaves are a different type of person, like not a person.
Yeah.
Like instantly, he's like, well, that can't be.
Which is what institutional
point of
slavery
it,
wants to trick you into doing. Yeah.
And then he sees a slave and is like, oh, holy shit,
That's just a guy.
Yeah.
It's a good moment for him. I really like it.
And then he goes, wait, I have powers, I can change this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's
And
not.
that's
and
so
because I
important.
can, I must.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's not just the realization of like this is fucked and like I don't like it. This is fucked. I don't like it. I can and have to do something about it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's a much better personal driver than what we've had so far. I don't know how often it comes up in the rest of the books, but just this moment is really good for him.
Yeah.
Also, the Slaver mentions, I'm going to say something kind of mean because this guy's a villain and he says something horrible, but teaching their captives a, quote, more civilized tongue, which means, as we argued long about in the learning to read episode, there are multiple languages in Alagasia.
Multiple human languages,
yeah. My question is, and this is an earnest, I forgot question, does the Empire expand into the Hadrock Desert, or does it stop?
It stops at the desert.
Okay. And there's heaps of people living in there.
I don't think there's heaps of people living in there.
There's enough that they're, like...
Yes, there are some, and they're being stolen into slaves, but there's not a heap of people in the desert. There's people past the desert.
Right. Yeah, so, I don't know. I don't think we get to see them that much, which is a bummer.
Yeah, we definitely don't see any people while crossing through the desert later in the book.
But yeah.
They go through the desert again in the next book.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they have to travel through the desert again in a later book when they go up from dwarf to elf. The desert is between those places. So maybe there's something then, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, like, maybe it's anthropology brain or whatever, but I want to see what everybody's up to all the time. And I'd just love to know more about these guys, and I don't think we get much of them. Because, like, you got
dwarves and elves. Humans aren't very interesting.
Yeah, when you have different, like, fantasy species races, it's like your granularity on, like, human culture kind of goes away. You're just like, okay, humans are over here.
Yeah.
But it's like...
I think it's important to have, like, more granularity within the different species.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish there was, desert elves would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
Like, you get...
The closest you get is, like, fucking wood elves, high elves, dark elves.
Yeah, which is whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's because those are, like, still... I don't know, if we're talking in D&D
They're
terms,
just, like, generic fantasy kind of sectors, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Unless, like, a cultural group, which would be more interesting.
It's snooty elf, forest elf, and
evil elf.
Yeah.
And then there's dwarf, and there's dwarf.
No, and then there's evil dwarf, which I do regard. But fuck that, dark elves rule. My favourite little guys in anything ever. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And I do hope that I'm remembering correctly and we get to see more of them. My note just has a little drawing of Jashiana getting blown up. Yeah, and then he goes to the cathedral. He gets very, very mad and walks away and goes to the cathedral.
And the cathedral's crazy.
I would love to talk about the cathedral. It's beautiful.
Yeah, would anyone like to read the description?
Sure. It was a while before he took stock of his bearings and was surprised to find himself before the cathedral. Its twisted spires were covered with statues and scrollwork. Snarling gargoyles crouched along the eaves. Fantastic beasts writhed on the walls, and heroes and kings marched along their bottom edges, frozen in cold marble. Ribbed arches and tall stained glass windows lined the cathedral's sides, along with columns of different sizes. A lonely turret held to the building like a mast. There is more. There's like almost the entire page of description.
Yeah, it's a lot of description. You get the interior as well.
It's so cool.
It's nice. It's really good, like scene setting, really good atmosphere. It doesn't really give a... I mean, I know the cathedral's to Helgrand, but like it doesn't really give away what their religion's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Are there like particular gods and religions in universe at all?
We've been over this 100 times.
Yeah, we just don't know.
None have been named.
None have been named.
It is not of interest to the writer, I don't think.
Yeah. And I think that's fine.
Yeah, there are dwarven gods.
There are dwarven gods.
Yeah, you get dwarven gods later.
Yeah. There is stuff about...
They have a really cool coral-based one. She's sick.
There's like a lot of figures in here to be worshipped, but it's like they're not
I don't think that any of these are like figures that are to be worshipped. At the door it says, "May thee who enter here understand thine impermanence and forget thine attachments to that which is beloved." And then a lot of the stained glass windows are showing like scenes of anger, hate, and remorse.
Come into my evil church. It's normal, I promise.
Yeah, so I think based on what we know about this religion so far, which is not a lot, I think it's like the basic idea behind it seems to be like accepting that you're impermanent and accepting bad things happening to you and moving past them, and that's part of what they're embodying in their
I don't know, maybe it's been
cutting
lost
off
though.
parts.
Maybe it's been lost and now they just like inflicting pain. Just tell people that
Well,
they're
yeah,
But I
impermanent.
think that like
The basic
because
doctrine.
the priests are inflicting pain on themselves as well. I think inflicting pain on themselves is part of like the religious practice of accepting their impermanence and that kind, and
That's cool.
forgetting their attachments.
Yeah.
That's what I think it's doing.
That's a good rundown. They also love giving blood to the big evil rock.
Yeah.
I can't really like
That one doesn't
I don't
quite
see
fit
how
I
in
the-
there.
can't really
Doom
click it
Spire,
together
like,
with the rock.
Factors into it, yeah.
Like if it was just this cathedral and the things about the priests like cutting themselves and bits off of them and stuff, yeah, I can pass this together into something. But the rock, little weird.
Not sure.
Not too sure.
The Rock is evil.
The rock is evil.
The rock is very evil.
But I'm not sure why they're praying to the rock and what that's got to do with like their wordy inscriptions and their
Well, they're
stained glass
spooky,
and-
evil guys who live in fucked up evil city.
That's true, that's true. There's a big statue of a guy who's scary.
Ooh.
What if the Rock wasn't always there? No.
it grew up?
What if it grew there?
That, to be honest,
Grew
What
out
if
of evil
Alien put it
religion.
there?
if we looked out the window tomorrow and suddenly there was a giant spire of really evil rock, I'd probably start going to church for that bad boy
We've
too.
talked
The
about
mob
this a bunch.
broccoli?
It's like
Mob broccoli.
Yeah.
I'd be in the mob broccoli cult.
No.
I'd do it. I'm sorry.
we talk about how like things pop up. It's like a cult started about that, and we all say like we'd probably be susceptible to that just for fun.
I'll be in a cult in seconds.
Yeah.
Not like a new age one because they're boring, but like if something really crazy happened that nobody could explain,
Cool mystical fantasy cult. I'm down.
I'm down. Instantly. If I get powers, you know I'm doing it.
If there's even a chance,
Yeah.
I'm worshipping.
If
for
I can
it.
levitate a pebble, I'm joining a cult. I thought it was fucking hilarious that he goes up to the altar and kneels out of respect
for the cathedral.
for the evil cathedral when presumably he has never been in a house of worship in his life and like is not a demonstrably not a spiritual person.
Yeah.
No idea
Yeah.
what's going on. And he's just like, I think
Also,
I will
he's
pray to the
kneeling
devil.
at the altar,
Weird.
like right at
Weird.
the altar.
He doesn't know how to do this.
I think I'll go to the church of the devil and turn my back to the door.
Just go sit in the pews, man. Like the rest of
Yeah.
us.
He turns his back to the door, and guess what?
No way. Guys, you'll never guess who I saw at the church
evil
of the devil. Wait, is it the guys who live on the evil rock?
Dude, I think the
way.
Razak just rocking up and like
I
pulling
think the
out
Razak
knives
are in
really
Sunday
fucking
service
funny.
every fucking week.
He also doesn't notice them at all. He turns around to leave, and they're standing
Like, oh
there.
shit.
There is a line about their blades being bloody, but then, like, they haven't attacked anyone.
They're bloody in a crimson light. It's through the
Okay.
stained glass window.
They're not actually bloody.
That's
It's
thinking.
like Eragon when he walked up to the pew and his
he's got
hands were
blue
blue
hands,
from
yeah.
the stained glass.
I think it's funnier if it's like the Razak didn't know that they were there and they were just trying to go to church.
Like, why are you in? What is this?
Yo, what the fuck? They do know.
In the
They
house
do
of
know.
my god?
This guy praying?
Oh, wait, is he cool?
Whoa.
We shouldn't kill him.
Damn.
I feel like if I know they have to be a secret because they're a secret assassins or whatever, but this
There were more of them, they were cool.
yes, this church, this religion would be a really awesome tool to control the people of Dracleona, which it seems like it is.
Yeah.
If I had two guys who were like scary freaks for the scary freak church and lived on top of God, you know I would be parading
They'd be
them out.
angels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Check it out, I
Ooh.
got saints. Like, I just feel like it's an untapped resource. But
Yeah,
he needs
these are
them
some
for
guys,
assassinations.
they cut off every part of themselves until there was nothing left and got reincarnated in a new body that could jump.
Yes, and this could happen to you. You could get sick hops if only you chop yourself down to a torso and die at Hellgrind. Yeah, the chase scene's good though. I enjoyed that.
Speaking of jumps.
Speaking of jumps,
Wait, Galbator isn't like a surface level evil leader though, so maybe having the evil Church of Evil God on his side is like kind of bad for his PR.
Yeah, but everybody loves the evil Church of Evil.
Only in
Dress
Dress
Leona.
Leona.
That's true.
Everyone else is like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What are you guys
What's
doing?
going on over there?
What if this is the only religion in the world?
They invented
Oh my
religion.
God.
Everyone was like,
Religion.
fucking hell, what is that?
What the fuck are they praying to? Oh my god.
Guys, that's really scary. I don't think we should go.
What is
there.
praying?
Like, the idea that everybody in the world, like, no concept of anything spiritual,
Yeah,
and,
no
and they're just
higher
like,
powers.
guys, the cult in Dress Leona is getting out of control. What? Like, that's somebody does call it a cult.
Yeah.
Earlier, like,
Also, like, magic does exist, so I don't think there's much. Well, there's reason to believe in just like regular spiritualism as well as
well,
magic.
spirits and demons exist because that's how you get a shade.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
ooh.
real.
They're
Yeah.
real.
Okay, that's also like slightly different
Yeah,
from
well,
like
spirits
theism.
being real is different from spiritualism.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There's a lot to unpack here. There's nothing to unpack.
Yeah,
so
it's not fleshed out. We're
There's
making this
nothing
one
for
up.
us to unpack.
So there's a lot to
I
unpack.
wish there were.
We're digging in. It's not even a rich loam. We're digging in the gravel.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
digging in gravel and finding like a shiny stone once and going, holy shit, we gotta keep digging.
Cool rock moment.
Yes.
I haven't had a cool rock moment in so long. I need to find one. Sick of the sidewalks. There's only crushed snails.
All right,
I saw some horrible things today.
No.
Eragon's cover is so blown.
He's such a fucking moron.
The entire city knows there's a dragon rider in there.
He
Slinging
tries to
magic.
shoot his fucking bow. Guess
Insane
what?
asylum.
It
Wow.
doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
That
What
one?
an idiot.
That one had me mouth open. That one had me shocked. What the fuck did he think was gonna happen?
They dodge.
They can jump 20 feet straight into the air. Of course you're not gonna hit them with your bow.
I like the image of them leaping over pews.
Yes, so good.
What if they're just like stumbling over church pews?
That would be funny. I was
tripping on
picturing
the
them like
carpet.
parkouring on the backs of the pews.
Yeah, that's cool. I imagine them tripping.
I imagined just a leap, one
Just one,
jump.
just one.
Hit, my movement is crazy. Dunk.
I have Benny Hill music playing in my head.
Eragon gazes hungrily at them before running away.
Guys?
He's
Eragon?
he's
I
a
think
teen.
it's
He's
his,
going through a lot.
I think
It's a
it's meant to be
revenge, but,
his
like-
bloodlust, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
weird.
Say, sometimes, you find things out about
Sometimes
yourself.
wires get crossed.
Yeah, and in situations that you didn't, consider that might be a possibility. The cathedral design is awesome, but I don't think Christopher Paolini knows how cathedrals
Well,
work.
architecturally, that's not like
No,
the
no.
side rooms or.
He mentions a priory bell, multiple monks, a kitchen, a backyard, several cloisters. He's describing it like it's a monastery, and first of all, monasteries are not attached to cathedrals.
Yeah.
And maybe this is like, obviously it's a fantasy world, blah blah blah, I'm being a bitch. But there are like 2 to 3 priests at on cathedral grounds living there at maximum, and there's just a whole monastery out the back of this place. I think it's so fun. It's like, well, I guess if
They gotta have like their little rich
Yeah, there's
area
priests
of the church,
and
you know?
monks.
Yeah, priests
Priests
and
and
monks.
monks.
But I guess if this is the only site of like holy site for these guys, like religious order site for these guys, yeah, this is just
Well,
where
at
they're all
least
gonna live.
in the city it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where they all are.
And I imagine there's like it's a very
Walled gardens don't
tightly
seem
packed.
that unusual to me.
For a cathedral.
It depends on the type. I've been
That's
to a
true.
cathedral.
It's within a cult and it's also
had,
within like
an outer wall, and there was stuff inside it. You know?
Oh yeah, I guess I haven't really been to like Europe and stuff, so I don't know.
it's in the rich area to separate the poverty outside as well.
Yeah, and it being like beautiful and walled and clean and all that kind of stuff, like definitely goes along with the themes.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
fun to have the distinct separation.
Yeah. Dress Leona's been really well done so far. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Pity we are about to leave.
Yeah. Wait a second.
They can't return for several
For
years.
several
Several
years.
years. Yeah, so Eragon gets back to Brom. Brom's like, oh yeah, I might have actually blown our cover by talking to all the servants about everything we're doing, and maybe some of them
We're spies.
were spies.
Fucking stupid. Why are you fucking
So stupid. He was so proud of it last night.
Like, when you're bragging about your plan to a child,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Confirmation that Saphira can talk to Brom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's going on?
I think she just doesn't like
I seriously think she just doesn't like him.
She says curtly, he'll meet you at the inn. Don't stop moving, you're in great danger. She's like, you made me fucking talk to that old
I
man.
was pretending I couldn't hear him. Yeah, they fuck it up. I love that he does his big gate magic and everyone's like, oh my god, no way.
Whoa.
Like, he yells the spell, and I feel like, I mean, it's good for the scene,
It
and
says, like,
he's
grind
feeling a
gate
lot of
or
emotions
something.
or whatever. But I feel like if he just said it under his breath or just said it normally,
They needed to put the
like
energy
100,
into it.
he did, but like 100
Yeah.
people saw him do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was already pretty over.
Yeah, it was, yeah. to be
And
fair.
Brom just knocked over a bunch of soldiers with magic.
Yeah. The ancient
Before
language.
he did that.
He said, "Hold the gate,
Ah.
do grind holder." Where did he learn that?
he knows
Came
all
up
of it
with
now.
it.
Oh yeah.
He translated that sentence about giving things up was in the ancient language. He translated it for
Oh,
us.
cool.
Yeah,
He's
he's
got
just sick
it.
as fuck at it now.
Hell yeah.
He just knows
Yeah.
it.
He's got it.
He read that. He read it first
He
of all.
read it,
New
yeah.
skill. Good job.
skill.
Then he translated it for us, the reader who can't read the ancient language.
He's
It was
leveling up
very-
like crazy. Thank God he mastered the blade.
Oh yeah, he mastered the blade as well.
Yeah,
Man.
he's getting.
He's
pretty
got
good.
so many skills and yet he's so shit.
Well,
Love it.
He doesn't have the skill of being smart.
Yeah, I don't have too much else to say about this except like he goes, "Oh, it must have been a bird," and then gets knocked the fuck out.
My God.
Fucking God. That was like, I had to take a break when that happened.
Yeah, I put my book down.
Because I was like, are you serious? Like, Brom says this is going to be really dangerous. They're good at hunting at night. We'll set up
Immediately steps
watch.
out of camp.
There's not even time between that. He's like,
And
yeah,
then
we
walks
should
over.
set up watch while walking towards the little thing he just saw and gets knocked out.
No, he's not an intelligent child. No.
We'll have to take watches until morning. Right, said Eragon, standing. He hesitated and squinted. His eyes had caught a flicker of... Like, it's
It's
instant!
instant.
instant.
It's as he's saying, "Yeah, let's be careful."
Yeah, haha. Oh my God, is that a pebble?
Oh my god, I just saw something.
He'd be the worst iPad baby in the history of the world. We put Eragon on the Coco Melon shit. Galbatorix is going to reign for another 400 years.
No.
But yeah, he gets knocked out. Bad for him.
Well, it's not really his fault he gets knocked out because he gets hit in the back of the head while moving towards the thing he saw. So, like, Brom was behind him. That's
No,
Brom really
he turns back. He's looking at the thing, he turns
Seriously?
back,
Are you
and then
so
gets hit in the back of the head.
Eragon
Come on, man.
must have been a bird. It's night
It's
and you
nighttime.
saw a patch of colour.
It's fucking nighttime. Nightbirds
Whatever.
are dark coloured.
Yeah,
He topples.
fine.
other Razak like established to have I don't know, nighttime vision.
Yeah.
They're insect like, yeah.
Yeah, they can see way better at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're night hunters. That's why Brom was like, this is bad for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much really happens next chapter. They just
talk
kind of
about their
ride around
revenge.
on the ground
For
for a
some
bit.
reason, I thought they were in a cave and got really confused later, but they're just still in their camp.
Did you?
Oh.
They're going to a cave next. I accidentally read the next chapter because this was so short that I didn't realize it was a chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Spoilers.
sorry. I'm sorry.
When we reach the end of this chapter, you'll have to leave the room.
I know.
Yo, the Razak are wearing black boots.
They are so slay.
So
I
swagged
fucking
out.
love them.
I think they're unexplained poison that blocks magic.
Dope.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Really powerful tool.
They're
Incredibly
funny little
powerful.
drug, yeah.
Like it's blocking it so badly he literally can't talk to Saphira.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, you are in serious danger.
Yeah. The situation is bad.
Like if they hadn't gotten Disix Markinid out of this, they would have died straight up.
Yeah. the Razak development here with him being like funny and smug and evil.
So
the
cute.
Razak saying that he's more disposable to Galbatorix than they are is a little bit like...
I'm not sure that's true.
They're really
I'm not-
misunderstanding their situation.
It's very much like, yeah, Galbatorix will kill him if he won't join him, but that doesn't make him disposable. He does not want to dispose of this. He wants him to join him.
Well, I think they just think that they're better than him.
Yeah, they're just like, fuck it, we're not even human, we're hot shit. You're a little like nothing boy.
Yeah, but they say we're too valuable, you are disposable.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Like,
Yeah, they're just simply
Straight
wrong.
up.
They're just really arrogant.
It's-
Because they're
And it's fun.
yeah, they're very used to being the king's special little guys,
Yeah.
and I think they're jealous.
Yeah.
they want to kill Brom so much.
They
just for
are like
fun.
addicted to old man murder. They want to do it so bad.
Then they say, one of them's like, what if Eragon, like, talks and says that we killed him, not, like, by accident? He's like, he'll never tell him. Why would he not
would he
tell
not
that?
tell him?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking reading that. Like, why would he not tell him immediately?
But these guys are like assassins that kill. They don't really keep hostages.
Yeah, it's probably unusual for them.
Yeah, I don't suspect that anything's really ever gone wrong for them.
Yeah.
So I feel like they kind of have a big head about everything, a big bug head.
Big bug head.
How'd they get those chains to the campsite without making a huge amount of noise? And how did they? I guess by saying they were going to kill Eragon, but like,
How did they get there so quickly?
why do they have a muzzle that fits a dragon?
Well, I think they could have
They're the
that.
king's rider killers.
True.
How did they sneak
I
up
don't
on
know how
Saphira?
they're the king's rider killers when he was killing all the riders, but like
Yeah.
they said that he's the dragon killer for the king. That they're the dragon killers for the king.
Yeah, I guess they just have this shit, but
The gap between like knocking Eragon out from a really long distance and then getting into the camp could use a little bit more explanation.
yeah. Maybe they
Well, that's
should
why
say
he
them.
passed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't need to know.
We'll
We're
never
being
know.
My final note for this is hee hee ha ha hoo hoo.
I was
That's because they're running away, and then one of them kicks Eragon in the side, and the other one's like, "Hey, here's my fucking chance." Throws that dagger.
Brom does the first useful thing he's ever done.
Yes.
yeah.
He's okay though.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's
fine.
been stabbed.
Although
People can be
my
stabbed.
big note is a full page smoking on that Brom pack.
What does that mean?
Go on.
I see we've got a pack laid aside for when Brom passes it.
I said Brom really just kicks it, huh? And I also
Should we be
have...
sadder about this?
Oh, I don't know.
He hasn't died
He hasn't-
yet.
He's fine.
He's just
He gets better.
lying down.
He's
He's
taking a
lolling
nap.
limply. But like, he doesn't die here, right?
No, no,
like he's just injured.
Yeah, he's quite badly injured.
Quite badly injured.
But
He like
yeah.
takes the knife and then falls on his shoulder limp. Eragon screams and passes out like we said so many times.
Why?
Why does he pass out? He's just really sad, I guess.
He hears footsteps approaching and passes out.
I don't want to do this anymore. Gunk.
We haven't talked about our mysterious man who's
No.
shooting arrows from all over the place.
Well, we can't
Love
because
it.
all we know is that he's shooting arrows from
He's
all.
a-
Well,
The
we
next
know that the
chapter.
next chapter's called Murtagh, and you read it, and I think it wasn't an accident because the chapter's called Murtagh.
It was. I forgot I read the first one.
A likely story.
Whatever. Maybe I wanted to meet my little emo fave a little early. Whatever. I'm only human.
This is just.
I'm just a man, you know.
The integrity of the cast.
It was a moment of weakness, alright. It won't happen again.
We'll talk about it next
We
episode.
can talk about it next episode. He's a fucking sick archer, though.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
My only note on it is that my memory of him being introduced is at a completely different
Yeah,
place.
drastically
Actually,
different.
me too, yeah.
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 I didn't think he was here at all.
No way.
No, I thought he
genuinely
was at
very
like
surprised.
Gallade.
I thought we met Arya first.
Yeah, I thought they
Yeah.
got into Helgren before the
Yeah.
Murtagh showed up.
Yeah, I thought they. Well, Arya's not there either.
No.
No.
Arya's not in Helgrund.
She's in Helgrund.
Arya's in
No, she's in
Arya's in a prison cell in Gallade.
Yeah.
I I got that completely mixed
At
up.
some point in a later book, Katrina's in Helgren.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, women getting tortured is all the same to me. Sorry, feminists.
Yeah, so I was just like turning the page and seeing that chapter title. I was like, what the fuck is he doing here?
Yeah. Pushing him back, get back to your spot.
I was just like, they've pushed an update on me here.
Downloading an update for Eragon.
Yo, new Eragon just dropped.
New Eragon is dropping.
Ah, yeah, so excited.
There's a 5th book coming. It's crazy.
There's also apparently they're headhunting an important person in the production cast for the show, and then it will progress quickly from there.
Cool.
According to Chris's Twitter at some point.
How very nice.
It's really funny logging into our podcast Twitter because we follow like Christopher
me.
Paolini and we follow like the Sugartol archive guy, and like that's it.
We're not even following
We need to
us?
start name searching.
No,
Don't
we
connect our
can't.
personal accounts to that account. We need to start name searching Eragon and liking and retweeting every tweet.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's too much work for me. I'm not doing it. You guys have access to all these
Alright, Charlie,
accounts.
you
You
can
can,
take
do
over.
I'll do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Fuck my job.
fuck it.
I'll do an 8-hour day of Eragon retweeting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are
I'm doing all the
work
editing and all
behind
the
the
social
behind the scenes
media
right now.
and posting everything. I'm not name searching and liking random tweets for engagement.
That's how a Red Bull podcast got me.
Well, maybe you could get them.
Maybe I could.
I'm not going to.
Hell yeah.
Get him. Alright, I think we've said all we have to say.
I would like to say this podcast brought to us by Fajoa Kombucha.
We are not
It's
sponsored.
really yummy. I didn't name the brand.
Not yet.
I'm saying it's yummy and I've been enjoying it.
We don't even have a Patreon.
No.
Unless we do, by the time you are listening to this.
Yeah.
It could well do.
We might.
I won't say how far we're pre-recording, but it's a wee bit.
We're just prepared.
The gap is closing.
Yeah.
Not rapidly, but it's closing.
Not rapidly. If I go overseas later in the year, we'll need this.
Where are you? I don't
Alright.
need to know. Alright, what have we got? You're on somewhere next week?
I'm on somewhere next week.
Yeah, what do we got? What are we reading?
got
We are reading
Murtagh.
Murtagh, A Rider's Legacy, and The Diamond Tomb.
They're fucking gapping it across
Fuck yeah.
town. Like, does he die in a completely? I thought he died in Gallade. Are they gapping it across town in like one like across the country in one chapter?
No?
Where the fuck is Gilead?
It's up the top by Ice and
I
Starlight.
believe they may gap it across the country.
They gap it to Gilead very
Gilead-
soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
in
it's
a
really
chapter.
far away. I can't believe that.
Wait,
it's
what the fuck? Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
I'll
can't believe
take
that
a look at
that's
those page
next.
numbers.
This is why I don't look at maps.
Yeah, I can't believe
is
that's
why you
like
need
in
to
the
look at
next
maps.
3
Don't trust
chapters.
them.
That's so far away.
Let's
Maybe they get
go.
all
But like they definitely get there because the chapter after that has
Capture.
Gallade in the name.
Capture Gilead.
Yeah, maybe they jump on the river and go on a boat, but it's flowing the wrong way.
And it goes past a ravine. They're not going
They're
there.
not going
Well, I
there.
mean, Severa can fly real good now.
They got horses.
They got horse.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
She can't fight the horses.
I don't know.
They would die of shock.
But yeah, they get really scared. I'm shocked and gagged that they aren't like killing themselves every time she shows up. Frankly, they're very brave horses.
I'm
very
surprised
good.
they're not
They've
dead
grown.
from riding across the desert that much.
They haven't gone
They haven't
through
gone
the
to the
desert.
desert.
They've just gone
Yeah.
through a plane.
Yeah.
That one's okay.
They
That
are
one
still
can
being,
go.
like, ridden to death, though.
And no, they're riding at a regular pace. They're just kind of riding at like a traveler's pace.
Okay.
They're like pushing it past the reasonable limits across the desert
Yeah.
because things are bad.
Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Oh my god. I was gonna. My final thing was Megan was. Oh my god, I'm gonna throw.
Megan, the little robot who does the dance.
She's a robot. Oh, that makes sense. I thought they just really fucked up the facial prosthetics on a child. I was like, they face tuned this kid too much. It scared me.
No, I think she's like an
Yeah, she's like a
android or
robot.
something.
Android. I got debated by the Helgren title. I really thought we were going there, and I got so excited.
Nah.
Nah.
I never get what I want. Just kidding. Brom got stabbed.
Let's go.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing next week. You can follow us on Twitter at Ears for Dragon, I believe.
We're Ears for Dragon on
Yeah.
Well, everything we're on, we're Ears for Dragon.
It's Twitter and
Twitter
Tumblr.
and Tumblr
And Reddit.
and
And
Reddit.
Reddit.
We are
Okay, I learned recently that you can follow someone on Reddit because someone followed our account.
God.
And I was like,
Neat.
wait, what?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
No idea you can follow a Reddit account until
you,
I
loyal
received
follower.
it.
Thank you, loyal
We've got
follower.
like 2 or 3 followers on the Reddit
go.
account. I
Sick,
don't know
let's get it.
what happens when you follow a Reddit account.
Like, you get a notification
Surely,
when they
yeah,
post.
like if they post, surely.
Yeah, we're-
not really posting very consistently.
I won't say active on the Eragon subreddit, but we do
We post
post
on it.
the episodes on there if you want to find them there.
We post the episodes on there. If you comment on our posts, we will reply.
We will say hello to you.
No Patreon yet.
No Patreon yet. Should we set up an email account?
We have an email. It's earsfordragon@gmail.com.
Yeah, you can send us an email if you like.
You can fax us at
You could send us an anon on Tumblr. You could DM us on Twitter or Reddit. I mean, if you have an account on Tumblr, you could message us with the account as well. But our anons, I believe, are open, so
And
you
that would
could
be
send
very
us an
funny.
anon.
If you want to send us some non-hate on Tumblr, hey, we're here for it. We're living.
Hey, that's free content, babe.
That is free content. Please send us heaps of non-hate.
Fuck
So we
yeah.
Yeah,
can
send
read
us
it out
a
on the
ton of
podcast.
anon-hate so we can do a mailbag section that's just anon-hate.
Looking forward to it.
And then we'll read
Lame
your
and
IP address.
gay. Yeah, we. Don't tell them we have that installed, dude. Alright, I think we're done. Thank you very much for listening to Ears for Dragon, and we'll catch you next week.